Never met anybody in the business that smart. I never met anybody in the business that paid that much attention. And when Keir and I first showed up, and we had those jumpsuits, those blue jumpsuits, and I remember we went in front of Stanley to okay the wardrobe in our jumpsuits, and he looked at us and he turned to the wardrobe lady, an English lady, and he said, "Do you have a washer and dryer at home?" And she said, "I do, sir." He said, "Have the fellas take their uniforms off, leave now, go home, wash and dry them, the whole thing, 6 times and bring them back." You see what I'm getting at? He made instant decisions.
He also
and he
had
was very open to
He also
decisions.
had his eye for was for detail.
Oh.
He was so nothing got by Stanley. Nothing. I mean, and well, you just felt you were in the presence of genius. At least I did. I'm sure you did too.
It's like Carol sitting up our pictures.
Absolutely.
And he was having come almost 6 months later after I did the Out of Premature film. That was the next film I did, was 2001, and what a difference. I mean, it was like going from hell to heaven, and Stanley never raised his voice, and he was a sensitive man, and you know what? There wasn't a lot of emotional direction. You know why I suspect is that when we had great scripts, we also had a lot of preparation. We had double doctorates that had been worked up, artificial backgrounds of how we became astronauts. It was very detailed. All that had been worked out. And the thing is about great directors cast greatly.
Yeah.
If you cast greatly, you don't have to do a lot of direction. You found your characters, and you just put them in the right situations. And I mean, Stanley would say things like, "Put your head down," physical stuff to us, which was fine. But it was working him was just. The one sentence is when people say, "Well, how was it working with Stanley Kubrick?" It doesn't get better.
Amen.
There's so many wonderful questions, and unfortunately we're running out of time. I would very much recommend a visit to the tables of Mr. Keir Dullea and Mr. Gary Lockwood tomorrow.
Hey, could we? There's a fella back there that.
Oh, please.
Just that one. Which one of you back there raised your hand just a minute ago? Can we take him?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I just wanted to ask Mr. Dullea about some of the differences between making 2001 and making 2010.
Oh boy. Honestly, the answer is 2010 was another gig. It was fine. It wasn't an extraordinary experience. I like working with the various, I only worked with one actor in it, who played the lead. What's his name? Yeah, Roy
I thought
Scheider.
that movie was about
fun.
Roy Scheider hustling a Russian chick.
Yeah, I'll just tell you the story. It might amuse. Yeah, it might amuse you. How I very quickly, I was doing a show in Hollywood, filming something. I don't remember what it was. Probably a television show. Could have been Macmillan and Wife. I don't remember. And I looked in the Hollywood Reporter and saw that they were going to make a sequel to 2001, and this is 18 years later. And I knew I hadn't heard from my agent. Nobody had contacted me, and I said they probably think I'm too old, or look too old. That's the main thing. So what I did, never done this before or after, I called MGM on my own and got through to the director, and I said, "You know what? I can imagine why you maybe didn't want to think I was too old, but I think you and I should meet before you make your final decision." And I went to the commissary, and we had lunch, and I had an offer to do the film the next day. So that's how that happened. But it was fun.
Well, join me in thanking one more time Mr. Dullea and Mr. Lockwood.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. All right, thank you very much. You guys are great.
could sit. Oh, you were great, thank you.
I think that's the worst thing about getting
It's getting up.